What's up, guys? It's your boy Spiderwolf back for another ChaosZeroNightmare video. So today we're going to be going over tier list, my personal thoughts on where characters land. Before I get started though, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could drop me a like, comment, subscribe. Would really help me out. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before another year. Only a couple more months left. Would really appreciate it. But that being said, let's get right into this. So I will be honest, I am quite behind in the game. So my knowledge isn't going to be like the best, but I have a pretty good idea of where I think characters are going to be. And I already know there are some characters that specifically are like, will generally probably be good for like a long time. Even if I don't have like, if I am behind a little bit, like these characters I know for sure are still going to be really good and worth investing and all that good stuff. But yeah, you know, let's get started. So I think we'll just go one by one as the characters come up here. I might do a separate one for partners. We'll see on that one. But I'll have to take a look at that one a bit more. But I'll cover a couple partners that I have used and that I think are pretty good from what I've known so far from playing the game. But yeah, starting things off, Haru, you know, newest character in the game, right? You know, first limited character. Personally, or I'd say she lands, I'd say A tier. I think, if I'm being honest, guys, most 5-star characters in this game are about A tier. Some could you could probably argue is S tier, especially once you get further into like the I forgot what it is, like the more shoot the, you know, the ones basically the game modes where you get epiphany, that stuff, because there's like the two different versions. You know, when you do that stuff, the characters get like really huge upgrades, right? And so some characters can just skyrocket and just become way better, and their kits work way better as well in turn with that. So some of these characters might jump up to S tier just because of the epiphanies are that cracked, because some of them are really good. But in terms of just like general like placements and stuff, that's kind of what I'm going off of. And this is kind of like an early, still kind of early game, slightly turning into mid game placements. This is kind of where like I would just generally put everybody. So, but I think Haru is about A tier. I don't know much about her epiphanies, like the higher end ones at the moment. I've gotten a couple, but I haven't gotten like the deeper ones. But for the time being, I would say she's probably like an A tier character. Not really like OP, but she's still really strong. I think she is a character that if you really like her and you want to get a limited character, go ahead. To be fair, I don't know for 100% if she is limited. I'm assuming she is, because I remember recently I saw somewhere saying that basically it sounded like characters that come out are going to be added to maybe like a standard banner in the future. I'm not too sure on that, but regardless, I'm going to put her in A tier. Now Mei Lin here, same thing. I think she's an A tier character. I think she's pretty good. Also, I'll probably reference the Pride Win tier list a little bit here, because, you know, that one's pretty good for like a decent amount, I think. But yeah, I'd say she's probably A tier as well. Rin, I have not used, like, mind you, like most of these characters I have not used, but at least Rin, I'd say she's probably A. I kind of low-key feel like she might be B tier, because I haven't heard that many people talking about her, but maybe she's like secretly cracked, especially with Epiphany. But I'll put her in A tier. I mean, Pride Win, they consider her to be, yeah, tier 1, which is basically A tier anyway, so she's probably really good. She's also pretty hot, so I hope I do get her eventually, because I would like to use her, because I think she's pretty cool. Khalipe. To be honest, Khalipe is one of those characters where it's like, I think it's kind of simple as to where you would put them, or put her. I think she's easily an S tier character. I'll be honest, I think she's an S tier character. I mean, like what Pride says, like if they consider her to also be really cracked as well. She does really good AoE damage. She's a tank, so she's good at keeping your team alive. I have gotten a little bit of her epiphanies for more of like, I guess, mid to maybe late game, where one of them literally, that's like I think one of like the 3 cost AoE one. It has like an effect where it'll give me like an extra AP back, and then there's also another effect with either I think that card or a different card, where if you do any like damaging card, it'll activate that card for her and basically apply extra damage, but it'll be like a little bit weaker, but it's still like free damage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think overall, just generally, like, Khalipe's kit is really good. She's able to be a DPS, not like a strong DPS, but like a bit of a DPS, like more like a sub DPS. She's also a tank, so she'll support your team, and she has like a lot of fun stuff going on. Also, one of her best cards in the game, which I think is really cool, is the X card, which basically uses all your AP and ends your turn. But the nice thing about it is that for her, she's able to basically keep all the cards you have currently available, and then you keep them for the next turn, and then you basically have more additional cards for the next turn as well. So you have like a really big long line of cards ready to go. So this can work really well in some team comps, or a lot of team comps, to be honest. So I think overall, easily an S tier character. I think she's very strong and very good. Now we have the next character, who I don't know actually. I think it's not Mina, is it? I don't remember her name. Where is she? Magna. Okay, that was close. Magna. Magna. I think not as good as Khalipe, but I think she's also really good. Plus, she's like a tank, so she's automatically gonna be really, really good because we don't have that many defenders in the game. Oh, that's not true, but you know, in terms of 5 stars, right? I think we have like a small amount, but regardless, I think she's A tier. I do think Khalipe is a bit better because I think Khalipe does a bit more, but Magna's pretty fun. Plus, Magna has like a whole lot of counter attack play going on, which I think is really cool. So we're really like doing like a ton of counter attacks. Magna's really good for that. But I think her main thing is more so defense reduction and all that, and our damage reduction. Whereas Khalipe's more like shields, I think. But I'm pretty sure Magna also plays shields anyways. But like I said, I don't have her. The next character we have is Veronica. Now Veronica, apparently everyone does consider her to be like a tier 0 character because she's apparently AP friendly, draw and upgrade. AP friendly because if you look at her cards, they're basically all 1 to I think 0 cost. But other than that, I'm not too sure as to why she's super high up. But I'd say if you want, actually hold on real quick. Let's look in the game real quick. Alright, so I took a quick peek in game for just looking at her epiphanies and all her cards. So basically the main thing is that she's able to play different cards, kind of like Luke does, where he spawns bullets. Veronica kind of does the same thing. All her cards are basically 1 cost, and she's able to play different things, like a card that will do more damage against shield or just generally more damage or whatever. But her bigger thing though is that a decent amount of her skills have the ability to draw multiple cards, so she's able to draw 1 card, 2 cards for your team and all that, which is really cool. Or discard all your current cards and then, you know, bring a different deck of cards out, right? Or set of cards. So overall, her main thing basically is just being like, hey, I can give you a bunch of cards ready to go, free of charge, which is pretty cool. So that's her like her main thing. So she's basically able to draw a lot of cards with like very minimal AP, which is very handy. So I'd say with that being the case, I'd say she's probably S tier. Like having a character that like literally is able to do that kind of stuff, I think is really good personally. But yeah, I'd say Veronica is probably like S tier just because of the fact that she's able to draw a lot of cards. I think that's really good personally. Plus 1 AP cost, really nice. Really good stuff. So I think I think it's safe to say she's an S tier character. Now Hugo, I'd say like, where is it? On the probably one to consider him to be tier 0 just because of the fact he's AP friendly. Like he basically, because most of his cards are like 1 to 0 cost, and he's able to give himself a decent amount of buffs. So I'd say because of that, I don't know if I'd say that makes him S tier, but I'd say that probably makes him like higher on the tier list for A tier personally, just because of the fact that's like, hey, pretty good DPS character, really cheap deck. You can run more buffers on the team, or you can run someone like Nia, which we'll get to a little bit later, who's more so catered to buffing, and that could work out really well, right? Because you don't have to worry about AP as much, right? Or you could still have Mika on the team too, and play with that as well, so you can like kind of maybe spam more cards. But then again, with somebody like Hugo who like is more about having the 1 cost cards and all that, you would probably just want to run a buffer, right? But overall, I think you can make an argument for him to be an S tier character, but I think since he's not really like he's not really like cracked for damage, it's just more so, hey, his cards don't cost a lot. I think, in my opinion, that makes him more so like a high tier, A tier character, and not like a S tier character. S tier character for DPS, in my opinion, would have to be someone that does like a crack ton of damage, and also like within a decent amount of turns, right? Not having to build up too much. But I'd say he's like A tier. You could, but like I said, at the same time, you can make an argument for maybe S tier. Not Veronica, Reona. I think same thing, but I put her like maybe between like here. I'd say on the tier list, I'd say also A tier, really strong DPS character. I think she's pretty good. From using her in the tutorial as well. I think she's a pretty cool character overall. And even on tier list here, like I said, most DPS characters they consider to be A tier anyway, so that's where I would put her. Luke, I'd say I would put him in B tier. I have used him quite a bit. I think he's pretty fun, but most of his cards are a bit lacking in damage, and you do need to run him with like a lot of crit, right? That includes having a good support that buffs his crit as well. But I think for the time being, he's B tier. When he gets better epiphanies, he might be like really good. But for the time being, I think he's like a B tier character, not super crazy, but not too bad either. He's an alright character. Chiron, this character I think is really cool. I played with him a little bit in the CBT. I thought it was really cool. He does take a bit of work to get around, and I think he's also a bit of a build-up character as well. But I'd say he's also A tier character. I would put him about maybe I put him like here. he's like a really good character, pretty strong, but you have to kind of build around him, and he does take a bit more effort compared to other characters to make him, be pretty good. But I think overall, he's really, really good. Aurelia here, or Orphea, whatever the fuck her name is. I'm gonna be honest. I think she's probably like not D tier, but she's like C tier. Like she's not that crazy. Like even if we go to Pride Win real quick and we look at like what she does, she's not really doing a whole lot in my opinion. Like what she does isn't bad, but I don't think it's like super crazy, at least with the characters we have currently, because she's mainly doing healing. She also does a bit of a damage because she's kind of like a DPS support character. She has some shield going on. I think if I remember correctly, her main thing is also summoning like minions or something. But overall, like from what I saw from her kit and all that, it didn't seem that crazy to me. Not saying that she can't work. I'm pretty sure I'm probably when we get her epiphany, she's probably gonna be like really cracked, I'd imagine. But I'd say for the time being, she's like C tier. She doesn't really impress me that much at the moment. I guess we can go through some of the 4 stars, but I don't have that experience with some of them. I think this chick is like a free. Well, I say she's. Well, I know she's free, but I don't know if the other chick's free. But I'd say she's probably B tier. No, not too bad. Actually, no, let me put C tier. Yeah, because there's a different character who we'll get to in a little bit who I think is better. Burial, they consider Burial pretty good. I think Burial. Let's say for draw, right? So I'm assuming that she has a couple cards where she's able to just literally give you extra cards, right? Yeah, draw 3 cards. Okay, that's just like really good as is. So I'd say for the most part, you know what, I'd say, I mean, granted some of her stuff is more DPS related, but the fact that you're able to draw 3 cards, I think, no, yeah, I think B tier is fine. I think B tier is fine. I'd say if anything, like maybe more like high B tier just for more usability or usefulness, but like, yeah, I think she's really good. Now the GOATs, ACS, I think we all know where this guy's gonna go. Easily S tier. I think he's a cracked, really good support. I think he's really good person. I'd say I put him like here right currently. Actually, maybe it's more like this, right? Clearly, you know, one thing about this game for sure at the moment is supports are the name of the game for this game. Like supports are the main OP part of the game, like what you really want to chase. Granted, you do always want to have DPS characters, but really the main thing that you want is support characters, and ACS fills that role really well. If you guys don't know what he does, we'll take a look at him, but I think he's just like a really good character. I used him in the tutorial for Haru, and oh boy, he's really good. Basically, his main thing, yeah, he has a couple damage cards, but his main thing is literally drawing cards, drawing random cards. You can also choose sometimes what card you want, or he'll just reset whatever cards you have. That's basically his main thing, shuffling, bringing cards out. He's just really good at that, basically, being able to just spawn a ton of cards, especially in cases where you're able to choose a card for a specific character. So someone like Haru, who kind of needs that to happen, or anybody else, really good for that. So I think he's easily S tier. I think he's a really good support, and I think his epiphanies are going to also make him really good as well. Maybe I'll make another video in the future, because this is going to probably be like an early tier list, so I'll make another one, hopefully, which we'll have more information, and I'll have a better judgment of which each characters may go. But for the time being, I personally think KCS is easily S tier. I think he's really cracked. This guy, this red-haired guy, Lucas, I don't know much about him, to be honest. I barely looked at his deck. Let me take a look at it right now, or I guess we'll take a look at it together. AoE damage, AoE damage. Kind of has like a loop thing, which I mean makes sense because they are brothers, so they have a very similar kit. Yeah, it looks like he's supposed to mainly be a DPS character, with a couple of debuff cards built in. But he might honestly work out pretty well with Luke. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And maybe he's like really good with Luke, right? But yeah, overall, I think, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not that impressed by this guy. I'm not saying he's bad, but like, I think you could probably make him work if you don't have that many DPS characters, but he's clearly a DPS character, and what he does isn't that crazy. So I'd say he's probably like C tier, since he's like on the lower rank and all that, and he's mainly just a debuffer, DPS / debuffer. And that's kind of, I think he's probably like a C tier. I don't think he's that good personally. Next character, Maribel. We'll take a look at her real quick, but I'm pretty sure I know where I want to put her. So she has shields, counterattacks, more shields, fixed shield, which is pretty cool. So she's kind of like basically an A version of Magna, and I think it's easy to say that she's a B tier character. I think she's pretty good. Like if you need like a better tank and you don't have that many, maybe you only have like Khalipe or Magna, you could just run Maribel here, and I think you're just gonna have like a really good time. So I think that's why I would put her personally. Now, get ready, guys. This is the god of the game. When I played the CBT, if you guys were here for my live stream, I mentioned this character would probably be the best character in the game, at the very least at the beginning. Mika, the god of the game. Honestly, hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'd say I think this is fair. I think this is basically where I would put Mika. I think she's on another league on her own as like a support character, and she's going out for free. I think she is just so fucking cracked. She's so broken with what she does. Like, literally being AP sponge, or not sponge, but like AP generator. Like, she's literally just a fucking factory for AP. Like, she's just so good. Give you AP. Her ultimate gives you AP. When you get more Epiphany, more AP. You would probably, her build would literally just be whatever can give her more AP to the team is what she would want. I think she's a god tier character, personally. You could maybe argue Cassius is like almost right up there too, but I think Mika's just like a whole other league on her own. Personally, I think she's just fucking cracked as hell. So I'd say she's like a character you would want to run like on every team, to be honest, just because of the fact that she's a little AP farm bot, and not many other characters really do that. And some other characters do give AP, but like not to the same extent as Mika. Mika is literally just a battery over here, just pumping you with full AP, which is really goated. So easily got tier, best character in the game. You want to build her. Next we got Nia. I'd say Nia is, I'm putting her A tier. She's not a bad character. Her main thing is literally just like, if we go look at her real quick and what she does, she's not a bad character. Her main thing is literally just buffing your team with like damage buffs and all that, and healing a little bit here and there. Oh, and I guess you can draw a card and discard it and stuff. So I mean, she has some card effects as well, which isn't too bad. But her main thing is literally just to buff your team and to do some healing. And then that's kind of it, really. I mean, there's some other stuff here too. I mean, heck, even with her Epiphanies, maybe she'll jump up to S tier. But for the time being, and also from what I used her a little bit in the CBT, I personally think she's like an A tier character. Not saying she's bad. I mean, A tier's, like I said, still really, really good. I mean, heck, I have most of the 5 stars here anyways. But I'd say she's probably like an A tier character. Really good for buffs. But I think some of the other supports are a bit better in the game currently. Next, we got Owen. A lot of controversy relating to this character as of recent, especially in Korea. I'd say, I mean, if we look at Owen's kit, and especially on Tierlist, I think it's kind of safe to say where Owen's gonna be. You know, it's like he's not a bad character, but he's mainly a DPS character that has some like tank abilities with like shielding and all that stuff. So I'd say it's pretty safe to say Owen is probably like C tier as well. Not really that useful, not that crazy. You can still run him, but he's not that bad. Now, next character we got is our girl Ray. I think Ray is also an A tier character. Ray is also a really nice support character. I mean, I'm just literally support, but you know, I think she's pretty good. Basically, she's able to give you heals. She's really good with Hugo, if I remember correctly. Yeah, see, because I forgot what it was. There's like one thing where it basically relates to Hugo. I'm pretty sure where, yeah, here we go. 40% damage of cards with cost of 1. So, you know, that's going to be great for Hugo. So I'd say overall she's really good. And her ultimate also gives you 1 free AP, which is pretty cool. She also gives some damage buffs as well with morale, some healing, draw of cards. So I think overall she's a pretty good support character as well. Not too bad if you want to build her as well, especially if you have Hugo. So I'd say she's also A tier. Next character we have is this bunny chick, who I do have currently in my account, but I have not built her yet. I don't really know what she does. Apparently she's good for breaking though. She has a mark effect, shielding, more mark, AoE damage. But apparently they consider her to be mainly good for breaking, so breaking the enemy's bar. But I'd say she's probably, if that's the case, she's probably I think A tier is fine, but at the same time, like, I haven't used her, so I'd say if she's as good as they say, A tier. But since I haven't used her and I can't really confirm that, I'm just gonna put her in B tier, not as like, you know, a decent character. Next we got Teresa here. If I'm right, I think, yeah, Teresa, right? Or Tressa, my bad, Tressa. I think she is like, I haven't used her that much, And probably when right, they do consider her to be like a tier 0 character, just because of the fact that she has a lot of cards where it's literally like free damage plus the DOT, which can do quite a lot of damage, right? So I'd say because of that fact, and actually have using her somewhat, and I can only imagine what her Epiphany does. I mean, I can look at it right now, but well, I'll look at it later because I am running a bit short on time. But I'd say most likely she's going to be an A tier. I think she's also going to be a really strong character. And yeah, that basically kind of goes through most of the characters existing in the game. Now, quick highlights I wanted to mention for supports real quick, or partners. This robot dude, if you have Luke, you want to make Luke a lot better, but you have this robot guy, then this robot guy would jump up to like A tier, because A to S tier, because Luke wants crit. This guy gives you crit rate as like I think 20% increase or something like that. So really good for Luke. As for the other supports, I'm not too sure. I might make, like I said, I might make a separate video going specifically over the partners here and which ones are really good and which ones are not that great. I think the bunny one's probably like C or D tier though, from what I remember looking. This healer partner, I remember her name. I think she's like probably like a B tier character, not too bad. I think, oh yeah, this chick right here, I forgot, I think she's for tanks. I think she's like a S to A tier because she gives you a draw 1 card. So I'd say she's probably like between S and A, just because of the fact she's literally able to give you a free card when you do use her. So I think that's really good. And then this guy that's like a low rarity. I forgot exactly what he does, but from what I remember, he was kind of good. So I probably would put him in B tier if you don't have any other options. This guy's pretty good as well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really know at the current moment from, you know, my current experience with the game. But overall, you know, I wanted to go at the very least with all the characters that do exist in the game at the time being of this video. But we'll be back for another tier list maybe by the end of November or maybe by the start of December. We'll see, because it looks like it's going to be about a character or 2 per month from what it looks like so far, which I think is not too bad. But with that being said, hope this video helps you guys out. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree, where you guys think some characters would be rated differently, higher or lower, and all that. And yeah, also let me know for any future video ideas. You know, if you guys want to like maybe like want a video for something else specifically, let me know as well. I've been able to try that out. My schedule's been a bit wonky as of recently, so if you guys have noticed on my YouTube channel, especially because of long viewers, YouTube streams and videos have been kind of like all over the place and not super consistent, unfortunately. But I'll try my best to make content as I can. But with that being said, guys, good luck with you guys' pulls if you guys are still playing for Haru or any of the characters you guys still want. And yeah, the game's really fun. Hope you guys keep enjoying it. And with that being said, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.